video sent to us by the Department of Children's Services launched an investigation into the Primrose School in East Brainerd. Now, we received the video from a concerned viewer, and you can see what happens to be a teacher pushing a child's head down. And you can hear the woman say, "Lay down." You can see she then pats and pushes another child's heads down. Well, the Department of Children's Services has launched an investigation. We have chosen to blur the teacher's face since she is not currently facing charges. Now, Primrose franchise owners released a statement saying the teacher was in clear violation of their policies and has been fired. Their statement reads in part, quote, "We are cooperating with the state licensing board regarding their review of the incident. We are also taking this as an urgent opportunity to re-educate our entire staff on our high standards for health and safety and our expectations for operational excellence." You can read their full statement inside of our app. Now, an Ottawa father reached out to us after seeing that video of the Primrose teacher. He says his daughter attended the same Primrose school in East Brainerd, and she repeatedly came home with injuries. Only on 3 tonight, he sat down with us to share his daughter's story in hopes of keeping other children safe.
My parental intuition was going off that something wasn't right in those rooms.
Chris Stokes and his wife enrolled their 2-year-old daughter Everly into the Primrose School in August with hopes they found reliable childcare. But he says unfortunately it was nothing but trouble. Stokes says after his daughter's first 6 weeks, he started having concerns. The first issue he noticed was his daughter's teachers were never consistent.
They didn't really introduce the teachers either, so we didn't really know who was coming or going. I would say by September she was on like her 3rd teacher.
Stokes says Everly is typically very friendly, but while attending Primrose, her personality started to change.
I noticed her becoming withdrawn, quiet. She would have these little temper tantrums that weren't like her.
He says he tried to give the daycare the benefit of the doubt, but then came the behavioral changes.
Are you putting your baby to bed?
He said he didn't know what she was doing or where it came from until they saw the recent video of a Primrose teacher aggressively patting children on the back and pushing their heads down. And then the injuries began. Stokes says Everly would constantly come home with bruises and scratches, but there would be no incident report or explanation. On November 12th, Stokes says she came home with a large bruise on her face.
And it was fresh because it was red when I picked her up. It was early afternoon, and then by bath time it had turned into a dark bruise right here on her face.
When he went to Primrose the next day, neither of the teachers knew what happened. Shortly after dropping her off that morning, he says teachers uploaded a picture of Everly with the scratch to the Primrose app.
The explanation was she had, quote unquote, somehow gotten scratched while cleaning up. But you could look at the scratch and it was very obvious, a nail. And it was right here under her right eye. It was very deep. He says he picked her up and never brought her back to Primrose after that day. Our baby boy was just born. He was 1 day old, and it couldn't have been a worse time for us to not have daycare.
But Stokes says they were able to make it work, and within a week, Everly started acting like her normal self again.
I haven't regretted the decision at all.
We looked into when the Primrose Daycare was previously inspected by the Tennessee Department of Human Services. According to their records, their last inspection was on October 14th, 2024, and there were no violations found. One violation was found on December 7th, 2023, when there was an unannounced visit and a classroom had a ratio of 1 teacher to 9 students, ranging from 17 months to 5 years old.
It's not safe. I don't think it's a safe place to have your kids. So.
With his wife's maternity leave ending and not having daycare for his children, Stokes says he decided to quit his job to stay at home with them.
I can't imagine right now letting someone else have that opportunity to hurt her, so right now I'm going to watch her.
He says seeing the video of a Primrose teacher being forceful with 2 children made him angry, but he's glad he listened to his intuition and pulled his daughter out. For other parents who have children that attend daycare, Stokes says, trust your gut.
If you see something that's not quite right, ask questions. Ask questions, if nothing else, find out what's going on.
We reached out to Primrose School of East Brainerd for a response to his allegations, but have not heard back yet. We'll update this story inside our app once we hear back.